Hey there guys, so today we're looking at Risk of Rain 2 running on the 2200G. Now, on here we are running at 1080p at the lowest possible settings. The only thing that was not set to the lowest possible was the corpse amount because I didn't want to set it to pretty much nothing. I set it to 10, so that is pretty much the limit in terms of corpses. Everything else is at the lowest possible setting if you could not tell by the very plain graphics. Now, overall, the performance on here was very nice. And the more I play around with this CPU, I am really tempted to pick up a 5600G. I'm curious to see what the architectural improvements to Zen would do in terms of performance, and if the drop to a lower node would help out the GPU portion of this APU a lot more. Because really, like, this caps out at 1500 megahertz. Like, I can't go higher than that before I just get crashes and issues. This is pretty much the limit of this. And the memory that I have is 3200 megahertz. So it's a pretty good combo with this. I do get proper clock speeds, but the memory is not tuned or anything like that. Because I feel like if you're the kind of person that's getting this kind of APU, or really practically any APU out there, you're not really going to be spending a lot of time tuning memory and also buying a really expensive kit for what really amounts to, at least based off of the numbers that I've seen throughout the years, not a super noticeable jump in performance, especially with the recent generation of APUs. So I'm really tempted to pick one of these up. But overall, the 2200G is doing a fantastic job here. Now, obviously, this is just a normal run. This game can get very intense, especially once you start activating artifacts and all of that. At that point, you're really going to want an upgrade, or if you cannot upgrade, I would drop down the resolution to 720p. The game is going to look fine in 720p, honestly. The art style of it really lends itself to lower resolutions, and it does a very good job at 720p. I played at that resolution for a while, and honestly, it's probably what I would set it to if I was going to be doing the more intense stuff in this. But if I'm doing a normal run, 1080p is perfectly fine. If I did not have the FPS counter up, I would really struggle to notice any big issues. Obviously, you're going to see the frame times. There's the occasional spike here and there, but in terms of in gameplay, it's not really super noticeable. And this is more than acceptable performance, especially for an APU I picked up for $60 2 years ago. Now, obviously, the current global market does not lead to you getting anything like that. I don't even think you could get like a 3000G for that kind of money. I think that currently right now sells on Amazon for like $80 or $90, which is insane. But if you could find this in the secondhand market, or if you just live in a country where prices for computer parts are just insanely expensive and it's, you either have money for the next 3 months or you don't, this is pretty much the way to go. Because even if this was like $90 or $100 equivalent in your country, it's better than spending literally hundreds of dollars that you might not be able to afford on a GPU that is going to, give you way more performance than this, but at what cost, really, So overall, if you're just a ultra budget gamer, or you just really are left without any options and you want to play games like this is going to do great, especially if you're super into 2D indie games. I'm very tempted to do a video just showing the types of indie games that you could play on these very low end GPUs. But anyways, I'm going to leave the video at that. You guys can see what the performance is going to be like. This one's going to be kind of long because it is a multi-stage run. So I'm not just showing you the first level or anything like that. We're going to see some of the later stages when it starts to get a bit more intense. So you could kind of just see what the performance is going to be like in these later sections. You can, of course, skip ahead. I will put timestamps for different levels if you're more curious about how it performs in the later sections, so you could just go straight there. But overall, you're going to see that the performance on here is pretty decent. And I had a blast playing on here. So I will see you guys next time.